Hi there. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my fast, my 24-day fast, but also my other fasts. I fasted like 6 times, besides small fast from like 1 to 2 and 3 days, right? So briefly, I was a really sick child. Always like with several symptoms, always annoyed by my weight and by my sniffing and all that catarrh. So I never felt well, So when I was 22, I saw myself with like all diabetic symptoms, like chronic fatigue, polyphagia, polyuria, polydipsia. It's like a lot of urination, hunger all the time. So, and I was about to do 2 surgeries, one in my nose, one in my back, and I knew that I didn't want to cut myself, being cut. That didn't sound right. And I thought there's more to it, I thought, I imagined that there was a better way. So I started like looking and I found veganism and then raw foods, and then I was sold. And I knew that my body, since a child, I never felt hungry, I never felt pleasure in like the right foods, like natural foods. I never felt pleasure in eating whole fruits, whole vegetables, I never had a salad until my 20s. So, and then I started like looking to fast. When I found raw foods and natural hygiene, I started looking to fast a lot. And I knew I needed to fast. I started like caloric restriction, intermittent fasting, and I started like feeling really good. But my weight dropped dropped a lot, and I was looking really fit. So I started eating normal again, and like a lot of fruits and vegetables. Not normal, right? And my weight stabilized. And when I had my first vacation after 6 months of eating raw foods, I started my fast. I thought I was going to do a 20-day fast and all my troubles would be healed and I could go on with my life, and not worry about that anymore and things like that. But it wasn't like that. Well, the 20-day fast ended actually in the 24-day fast. The first days of the fast were terrible. I was so sick back then that, I couldn't get up. And I felt bad, like, going to the bathroom was like, oh my God. It was a mission, just to get up from bed and walk to the bathroom. So, but after the first initial days, like after the 4th day, I started feeling a lot better. It's odd. You feel a lot better at the same time you feel bad, because your body's in a sick condition. So you start feeling it the way you should. You start getting more contact with it, with your instincts. But still, at the same time, the fast is healing you. It's not putting more burden into a sick body, It's not putting work for a sick gastrointestinal system to work. It's not overloading it when you don't need it. So it's a mix of feeling good and feeling bad. It's hard to explain. You have to feel it. But it's the best feeling ever when you take a time from food and you feel that's right. So at the 6th or 7th day of fast, I started like having a lot of symptoms. I had like rashes all over my body. It was like red pimples on my chest. That it looks like those diseases, child diseases, like smallpox, chickenpox. I don't know the name in English exactly, but I fasted at home, right, with my parents. they didn't know that they didn't. My father always tell me that, always says to people, I didn't know like that people could fast. I know Jesus fasted for 40 days, but besides that, I never heard of anybody fasting. So they were amazed. I was living on raw foods for like 6 months, and we didn't know a vegetarian before that. And now I was like fasting for a week without food, and they were like, my father thought, hey, you are going to die, kid. Don't do that. That's wrong. You're not going to live. And my mom was like always, checking up on me, bringing me water. She boiled the water actually, because we hygienists recommend like boiled water if you don't have distilled water or reverse osmosis. And she always brought water for me, but they work during the weeks, right? So only my brother was at home, and I stayed most of the time in my room, my bed, just reading and like trying to keep my eyes closed most of the day, and just fasting. And sometimes I just went upstairs, like a small stair for the 4th floor, and stayed there like reading in the sun, getting some sun, and just to change rules a little bit sometimes, because it can get a little boring, even more if you don't have any person like visiting you or like talking to you just a little bit, making you company. Although it's better for you to a total rest. It's hard to have like at least for me, it's good to have people sometimes around. And then in the 7th day, I started like having a lot of symptoms. Besides the rash, I had like a pain in my joints, in my hand joints, for like years. Probably arthritis. I don't know. And it was quite strange to see the chemotaxia. I don't know the name in English, but we call chemotaxia in Portuguese. The sign, the vital signals that the body shows when he's producing inflammation and healing, like hyperemia. He's sending a lot of blood to the place, and the place gets red. It's constructive. It's a repair process. So a lot of new cells is going to the place. So I didn't know what was happening exactly back then, but I knew that it was some kind of healing. But it's strange, and you better study about fasting before, because first it starts to hurt. You feel hurt, but it's different from when you get hurt. It's a pain with healing. It's hard to tell what you feel. It's different in the fast. But I knew that the body was repairing the place, but it hurt. I was having a lot of pain, and in a day or two, the place like the pain stopped. Yeah, like not just the pain that was caused by the fasting, but the pain that I had before in the place. It was like the place was healed. What the body couldn't do, like in a lot of years that I had that pain. It was strange. And then I started on my back. a few days afterwards because I have a lot of back pain as well. So I saw so many changes. I was like getting, wow, what is this? You know, it was a lot of things that I have never felt in my whole life. And then in the 10th day, there was like an emotional discharge, you know, like emotional healing. It was like a lot of stuff coming from inside of me and being put outside, you know, like a lot of repressed thoughts and feelings. It was like I was healing my mind, my emotional system. I don't know how you gotta live it to understand, but. And I started like sending emails to people that I thought I could have heard, or you know, to my ex-girlfriend, and you know, you feel so calm, so peaceful, and so, you know, so healed that you need to share the peace, the love, and you show affection to people, and you know. And it was different because I felt it fall emotional, like shields. You know, you have like defenses that you maintain because you were afraid, like something unexplainable. But people are like afraid of showing feelings, emotions, and being bad at something. And I wasn't anymore. You know, I started like. I was a whole different person after the fast, and I didn't have fear anymore of, you know, of being bad at something, or being, you know, ugly, or you know, you're just yourself. You know, you're happy with what you are. It's such different like state of mind that I was getting amazed, and then I continued. The days keep going and going, and you feel amazed of not going to the bathroom besides just peeing, you know, urinating. You just urinate, you know, because you're not eating, so you don't need it to defecate. So you get amazed by that. I think during the 4th day I defecated a little bit, but that was it. And then I keep going, and you keep getting thinner. I lost like 15 kilos. I weighed 65, so I lost 15 kilos. I was like 50 kilos, and I have 1 meter 73. I think it's 5.8, like in feet. So I was really thin at the end. But at the 12th day, things started to get a lot different. You know, I had like I felt like an allergy besides my finger, between my fingers, my whole childhood, and now they started appearing again. Something that wasn't there for like years and years. You know, and I felt my back healing a lot, and I started like to feel my gastrointestinal system starting to heal, and like a lot of blood going to it, and I started like having symptoms. And I read Shelton the whole fasting, that whole fasting. I read Shelton's books, and I read a fasting book of his. I think I don't remember the name of it. Fasting can save your life, before starting the fast, and it was really good for, like, you know, knowing what I was doing and having faith on it, you know. So I kept reading Shelton and having symptoms, and the 12th day, wow, it was like my body was talking to me, you know. I started crying, actually. I started crying a lot because my body was telling me that he wanted to fast since I was like 2 years of age, or even before that. It was quite strange because yeah, it was not like I could have control of it. I was not controlling my body. He cried alone, you know. I was okay, you know. My mind was okay, but my body started like, he made me cry. I'm not a spiritual guy. Sorry for that, guys. And I don't even have a religion. I'm atheist, but it was the most spiritual thing I ever, you know, felt. I'm more of a scientific guy. I'm always thinking analytical and rational, but it was the most spiritual thing I ever had. It's like you are connected with the whole world. You're so connected with your body that you can feel it. You know, everything he feels, and it's one of a kind experience. Actually, the best experience I had my whole life, and I really recommend it. I don't mind, and I don't care if you're sick or not, if you need it, if you believe fasting or not. But if you want to experience the best sensation your whole life, fast. But don't do an unsupervised fast. I actually did it unsupervised at my home, but I don't recommend it. I recommend you to go to a hygienist facility and being cared for by medical doctors and people that are can do examinations like blood tests, and can care for you in a right way. But I didn't have money at the time, and I really felt like fasting. I needed to fast, and I believed in it, so I did it. And after my 12th day, my body kept telling me and talking to me, you know, and I cried internally, and I cried externally as well. But he was in pain and asking, why didn't you fast for this whole time? I just wanted to fast. I just need a break from food. It was unbelievable. And I didn't want to break my fast. I didn't feel the need to break my fast. I felt I needed more. But because of pressure from family, and I needed to go back to university, or else I was going to lose the semester. And my girlfriend back then, you know, people saying I was crazy. I thought like I would break the fast and then I do another fast, nearby vacation, in somewhat another vacation. And that was what I did. I broke the fast on the 24th day with a papaya, and I never felt so good. And food never felt so good, actually. It was like, because your body fat is so low that your dopamine goes, the dopamine receptors are a lot more, and they're a lot more sensitive to food, to invite you to eat a lot, to invite you to eat more, to say to you, now you're in need of food. So eating was like really good, but actually at the same time really bad, because the body was telling me, no, don't eat it. I still don't need that food. I still don't need food. I still need more healing. I still need more energy. Diverts to the healing process instead of the digestive process. So, but I ended up eating, and was like the best experience that I ever had. Was the best month in my life. I ended up going to college really thin after like 5 days of breaking the fast. I was like so thin, because when you break the fast, you eat really little, even more if it's a 24-day fast. So I was eating really little, like weighing 50 kilos. Imagine when I get into the classroom, everybody was like, wow, that guy must have AIDS or something like that. You know, people look at you, but you're like, you know, it's like you're in heaven, you know. You're like we say here in Brazil, you're all walking to clouds. It's like everything's okay. Everything is like, it's the best day of your life. You feel so good and you feel so alive that you want to share, you want to bring that to people. So I cried on the 24th day, saying that I would never have nobody going through what I went through my whole the first 22 years of my life, you know. All the sickness, all the symptoms, and all the lack of nature, all the lack of natural things. And I knew I had a mission, you know. I knew I had to share raw foods and this message of world sustainability, of, you know, of coming back to what we know is right, living your food from the orchard, from trees, and, you know, getting exercise, getting sun, and, you know, I knew that this message was the most important thing to be shared. So I started working with it, and I work with promoting raw foods and natural hygiene for like 80 years now, and my whole life changed. I'm a raw foodist for 10 years and a half now. I'm a frugivore actually. I live primarily on fruits and vegetables. I fast, I sleep early, and I try to, you know, I try to practice healthy habits in a sick society. It's not the easiest thing, but when you are educated, you get the hang of it pretty quick. So all I can tell you, you know, it's educate yourself in natural hygiene, educate yourself in healthful living, educate yourself about raw foods. It's the most important thing you can do, not just for yourself, but for your loved ones, for the animals, for economical and social, and for ethical reasons, and for the planet. If you want, after studying raw foods and like nutrition and health in general for the last 10 years, like 24/7, I can guarantee you the most important thing we all of us, all 8 billion of us can do is come back to live in nature laws. Obey nature laws is the most important thing, and it's the only thing that will permit your child, your grandchild, and their child, and all the next generations to live in this world. Or else, I'm pretty sure that what the science is showing, that we don't have enough time. We don't have time to lose. We have to change now. So please, get in contact with your emotions. Start eating raw foods again, living natural again, and fast. You will see that peace comes from within. Peace is biochemical and comes from your blood. When your blood is in homeostasis, your brain is in a peace of mind that you want to share the message and you want to heal the world. So that's my message. So if you like the video, comment below, give it a like, get subscribed to our mail letter, to our YouTube channel, to our Instagram, and check out our, if you speak Portuguese, you can read all of our 6 books already published. We're going to the 7th, all about raw food nutrition and recipes and things like that. But we'll be translating in the near future my books to English, and also we have retreats here in Brazil like a fruit festival and a culinary retreat, so you can learn how to prepare any raw food dish, but with all the agave, with all the coconut oil, and with all the olive oil, and without excess fat, a gourmet frugivore culinary. So come to join us, come to meet Brazil in a beautiful setting with like 150 trees growing, and bless you, and have a beautiful fruity day with a lot of fasting for your future. Thank you.